One title.
Okay, Freedom, what do they want to pick first? Sand King is banned out. I think Sand King is pretty much the best first pick, if he's available. Who do they want? Bat is available as well. Mike Bat is pretty decent. I didn't really like the first pick Jug for them last game. They didn't really play well around it as a team.
Hayo first pick for Freedom. So they kind of block pick it, I suppose, and they also get their hands on it. Is it Fluff who plays it, or?
I think so. I think both
Oh,
of them can play it. I think it's more
Jubei
Fluff
plays
hero.
it as well.
I think more Fluff. Jubei plays more the roamer. I guess Wisp roams a little bit. So compLexity, how do they want to deal with the IO? We saw Undying last game as an attempt to counter the IO. Didn't really work out well for them because he wasn't in the lane at all because they just dual lane top, and BSJ struggled a lot. So other options are a lot of burst. Bounty Hunter's pretty good. I've seen Storm also work pretty well, though I don't know if you want to first phase that. Timber is especially good versus IO. A lot of mobility, can escape relocate ganks, and a lot of burst.
Yeah, and I wonder how hard compLexity looks like directly counterpick it. You can go for those big team fight heroes you mentioned.
They like Warlock too.
Disruptor's another option. They go for the Venge. The other thing you can do against the IO picks, which we have seen, is just push the crap out of that lineup, because he doesn't really do much to stop it.
Yeah, this might be a core Venge though. I don't know. It just seems like a similar role to Face's Void last game. Just like pretty hard to kill because Vengeful Spirit has a lot of strength, and you don't actually generally want to kill her first because of the Vengeance Aura, like team fighter in the fights.
All right, Mirana. So heavy burst against the IO here. A lot of magic damage. A lot of kill potential, especially if it's a core Mirana.
The TA I don't actually really like. Like, it was cool to have the trap at the Roche, but aside from that, like, I think that could have been any generic mid hero, and they would have similarly crushed. I think it would have been way better. I think with a Mirana perhaps with the way that they played, because then she wouldn't have died at all, and she can push equally fast.
Freedom. They go into the Batrider pick, so they get the IO first. I guess a pseudo counter the last, and then they do go back for the Mike Bat. So there's your team fight initiation.
I like the Batrider a lot more than the Tide for Freedom. It's because they don't have to... Like, Tide is very difficult to take fights without the Ravage, and they constantly had to fight without the Ravage because of the Leshrax low cooldown on the Edict and the high sustain from the Wisp. With the Batrider, they have good setup for relocate ganks in case it goes to like mid to late game, and they can fight without lasso. It's very common for Batriders to just go for the drums and then just napalm and firefly people down. The Vengeful Spirit swap isn't actually that great versus that build, which is far more common nowadays, and it's just way more fast-paced.
compLexity will ban out the Undying now. Freedom definitely love to go to it for Jubei. And I mean, I'm just wondering what Freedom's plan with the IO is. Like, sure, you know, compLexity ran it well last game. It's kind of a block pick. It can counter the lasso a little bit, but still, I mean, Disruptor was in the pool. The Venge was available. How Oracle was in the pool, so you don't purely pick it just to protect the Batrider. And what is, like, that IO partner? Is it going to be a Morphlane? Are we going to see a Storm Spirit? What do you... Even Timbersaw we've seen together with the IO. Is it like a Sven IO?
I like Storm, personally, versus these two heroes. And they also need a lot of damage. So, yeah. Storm I would like. I guess maybe you can tell from the bans that they want to. Beastmaster would have synergized very well with their lineup. Like Vengeful Drow, Vengeful Beastmaster, very common to just right-click down towers with that heavy physical damage. They ban out the Spectre, a smart ban. Freedom did show that they ran that a couple of times during the qualifiers. And Batrider plus Spectre is just a nightmare for any hero to farm up against, which is what compLexity did a lot last game. They farmed out the lanes alone or semi-alone, and this way you can immediately identify how many heroes are there and make the correct jump.
Yeah, also a great, just in general for Freedom, I guess, with the Beastmaster ban, it is a way to scout out the bat when he initiates. So both teams really concerned about that vision game and who will get the better initiation. Freedom now proceeding into a Naga ban, which, again, Cancel ran really well previously. So
Justin played it.
Oh, was it Justin?
Yeah, Justin played Naga.
Okay.
It was their...
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Even in that, like,
it was a finals
TI
game.
qualifiers game?
Yeah, it was Justin.
Okay. Why did I must...
I know it was Justin because I kept harping on him for...
Yeah, well, you cast it. You
for
know
his,
better than me. I could have sworn it was canceled.
He didn't sleep.
Clearly not.
They didn't really play that well around the Naga Siren because they didn't use the sleep offensively. They just mostly use it defensively. I guess it's a playstyle choice, but
Gotcha.
I think there was a lot more upside to the Naga Siren than they had.
All right, but something very different here from Call. They are going not into like that split push style or a big team fight. They want pickoffs here, so they pick up the PA. Great at bursting the IO, especially. And a lot of heavy single target damage, but they are very lacking in the team fight department.
Man, Freedom still had Eagle playing with them. I would say they should go for Skywrath, but I think Eagle is...
What a great player team name combination.
Yeah, he is.
The Freedom Eagle.
He's a really good Skywrath player, too. And Skywrath just like dumpsters PA so hard because you just don't have any HP.
And all that evasion is not going to help you.
Silencer.
All right, Silencer the pick. I mean,
Silencer hurts PA a lot. The curse is actually the worst thing to play against is PA. Because your spells are like super low cooldown. It's how long on the dagger? 6 seconds on the dagger and 5 seconds on the blink strike. So if you cast, you're taking a lot of magic damage. And you have to cast to do damage as PA, for the most part.
compLexity back into the Alchemist, so looking to... I mean, I thought they weren't going to go for much of that split push, but this definitely could change the formula.
It's just all physical damage, or aside from the Mirana, but it's a lot of physical damage. And Freedom don't have any armor, and they didn't really itemize well for armor last game.
So I guess with this pick, we are looking at a Z-Freak Mirana. Certainly, he's very well known for his play on the hero, and a Swindle's Venge, most likely.
I'm not sure, actually. I think they could run, like, PA +1 offlane if they wanted to. Because with the Wisp, their lanes might be a little bit weak. Because they might do 2-1-2, or 2-2-1, even. But I wouldn't be so resigned to saying that Z-Freaked on the Mirana. Although it does seem the most likely.
So Freedom now into the 4th pick here. Still
need damage.
Yeah, need damage, need a carry. They already have their supports. And need some late game here.
Luna, maybe?
It is going to be... I mean, it's all about that global into, like, lasso storm jump. God, I remember Empire used to run this duo, like, 2 years ago, where they'd just be so good. I think was Vangscore playing the Silencer for them back then? They were just so good at timing the global with the Storm and Batrider jumps, and then they'd always get like 2 picks to start the fight and just run over their opponents.
It just requires a decent amount of farm on the Storm and the Batrider, whereas, like, even without any items, I think compLexity's lineup is real strong because they have a lot of minus armor synergy with the S Spray and the Vengeful Spirit. Minus armor. Oh, also Z-Freak played the Alchemist one time too. He played a roaming Alchemist with
4-position roaming Alch.
Yeah, it was he went like a 2-4-1 build, so I think they could easily roam on the Storm Spirit with him. It depends on where the Wisp is for them, but...
5 seconds remaining.
All right, well, let's see what they have in store for us. Now, the Timbersaw removed compLexity, taking out a tanky hero that does well against like that just kind of chippy physical damage.
Yeah, they need to ban out the high armor heroes, and he is one of the few cores left. I guess Sven is also an option. I wouldn't really mind a Sven that much from them, just simply because of Warcry. I think Warcry is incredibly good here. I'd actually be more scared of a Sven than a Timber. What else is there that has armor?
Yeah, I don't see Freedom going for a Timber here because they would just have no ability to take objectives. No real like late game physical damage.
And their lanes wouldn't work out.
Yeah, it's actually Terrorblade though. So
Oh, he has like the highest armor in the game, I believe.
yeah.
He had 10 armor at level 1.
I mean, Carry Moran is pretty damn good against him though.
Yeah,
so
that
if
is-
it is a core, could throw a wrench into their plans. Hell, even as a support, if you have a good laning stage, you can get that early eggs.
I think you put Murana mid.
Seconds remaining.
Yeah, Murana mid, Alk, Roam, PA safe lane, and then pick a Moo hero last, like Nyx, let's say. Nyx is good for Spat, good for Storm, so-so for Silencer, okay at dealing with the IO2. I don't know what else there really is. Timber's been banned, Axe is very mediocre here. Slardar is actually pretty good too. Works well with their minus armor, so I would lean towards Slardar or Nyx. That's my top 2 for them. But his hero could already be here for all I know.
I guess we'll find out. It would make them pretty... I guess their deep push is okay with the acid spray, but it's not great for complexity.
They want small skirmishes. They don't even need to push. You just kill the Wisp over and over with this lineup, or kill the Storm over and over, and kind of... I don't know how they deal with the Bat though. I think Bat might have a pretty easy time in lane, unless Freedom dual lanes off lane.
I'm really curious to see... oh, Lifestealer.
Lifestealer is interesting. So Justin's playing Lifestealer. Who is playing what? Z-Freak PA, okay. I didn't know that people still ran support PA after the huge nerfs to the range.
It's only, what, 750 at level 1? It's like literally half of...
I think it might be less than that. I think it got nerfed twice, I'm fairly sure.
It used to be, what, 1400 at level 1, I think?
Phantom Assassin.
So, players do start to select their heroes while you're looking it up.
It's 525 at level 1.
And it goes up to...
1200.
1200.
Yeah, I believe it's 1200.
What-
1200
It was,
level
what, 1400 before at all levels? It didn't even scale, right? Or if it did, it was very minor.
It didn't scale.
Oh,
It
it's
used to be
1200 all.
1200 all levels, and then it got nerfed once to 825, 950, 1075, 1200, and then it got nerfed again 525 to 1200.
I mean, who knows? Maybe they'll pull Liquid and suddenly Z-Freak's on the carry roll, but highly doubt it. So we enter the game. Start off with a pause from Fluff.
That is a cool set on Z-Freak.
Wouldn't be. This is like the most NA Dota of chats.
Is someone all chatting? Oh.
Yeah, we missed some quality conversation here. Is Van one of the band players?
I haven't seen him in a while, so I would assume yes, because
Okay.
he was one of the most skilled South American players that I've seen.
I
And
guess
he would
we're-
definitely be playing. The
I mean,
qualifiers if he
hopefully we'll see more with the dedicated South American qualifier for the majors for the next one.
Yeah, there's a lot of talent there, but bad attitudes and sometimes too heavy ping.
Attitudes, I
Yeah.
might call them. Unacceptable.
Did someone ever teach you about latitude, fatitude when you're trying to distinguish between latitude and longitude?
No.
No, so latitude, fatitude, latitude runs like east-west, and because, I don't know, the Earth is fat. I don't know. Someone told me that when I was like 12 or 13, and it's always stuck with me. I don't know why. It just... But on the upside, I don't confuse latitude and longitude, because longitude you would expect to be east-west, but latitude is actually the north-south lines. In case you ever get asked, what latitude do you live at?
Yeah, whenever I say where I'm going, I don't actually list the destination by name. I give coordinates. So it's very important that you know which are which, or you might find yourself halfway across the globe in the wrong direction.
Yeah. Don't be over-reliant on Google Maps, though.
I'm not gonna lie, I've gotten weak, Ben.
Yeah.
You know, when I started driving, they didn't have it. I think MapQuest came out like shortly after I started driving.
What happened to MapQuest?
MapQuest used to, man, they squandered an opportunity there, did they, or what? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, now it's Google Maps. I know you've got some hipsters like Brian that prefer Waze.
Well, they're the same thing.
It's
Well,
basically the same thing, just with
Yeah.
a different like UI.
Well, Google bought Waze.
But they still have it as a separate app.
Yeah.
Seems a little inefficient, doesn't
The
it?
battle begins.
It has its issues. But if you use latitude longitude, you'd have no issues.
So Z-Freak, he went for the Blightstone Uv combo.
That disgusting combo. They're
this is
dual
dirty.
laning, off laning again, and Moo is playing the Alchemist, so I think Moo is positioned 1 now. at least in this series.
So someone in chat just said, please tell the casters to keep the camera on PSJ a lot. I'm sure this guy just wants to flame it.
So now Freedom are doing a dual offlane to deal with complexities lanes, and they actually, by dual I mean a tri lane.
The offensive silencer IO Terrorblade tri-lane.
That's fine though, because they only have 2 heroes down here, and 2 heroes cannot contest these 3. These are, I would say, actually a pretty weak dual lane. Like Lifestealer, I think is fine in tri lanes, but dual lanes, you just like you just get right click too much because you don't have any armor. And he did not pick up a ROP; he picked up a Mango instead. So he's actually gonna be in for a lot of harass against the double range. Plus
Oh, mid lane, Cancel going for the solo kill. He does not get the double Star Storm. So Tomato will survive. Pops that salve, heals right back up, but aggressive play by him to get things underway. Z-Freak's doing some work here on IX Mike. Has the Firefly.
Yeah, there's not that much you can do as IX Mike. However, he does have a stick, and he does have the level 1 stun.
Oh, Mikey.
Ooh, that was close.
I'm not sure that was really worth it. Pops the Fairy Fire. Does end up living. I guess Moo forced to skill the stun instead of the Grievel's Greed. So
but they
slow down his economy.
They were forced to TP up on the Wisp, so that means that Lifestealer will finally get some farm.
Mike with the quick seppuku to the neutrals. And I wonder if we
stack
see
before.
see
No. The inefficiency.
Do you think Mike's on tilt?
No, he just was concerned more about getting experience and going back to the lane instead of playing for later. It's just a personal decision. I don't really think of Mike as an efficient player, though. I think he's more about, like, he excels at fighting and generally not dying.
Swindle's taking a pounding here with the glaive splashing in. That DD rune on the silencer. He gives up a first blood to Fluff, and that's a quick +2. Thank you, sir.
Yep, and the double slow. Double slow from Reflection and Curse is pretty nasty.
Yeah, they do not have any Radiant Vision.
Top lane is getting
that ward.
dove.
As Moo will get the stun off under the tower. The Acid Spray deployed, even with the Tether heal. Fairy Fire coming out, and already the stick committed. IX Mike will survive for now. Jubei trying to make it out. Needs to go for that long tether. Back to safety, and he's out of there. But, oh, Z-Freak might get a double kill.
Yeah,
this could be big. Getting fogged. He gets off that first dagger, but the napalm starts to come out. Blinks onto Jubei. Finds that kill. Mike will survive. Still, though, they at least get a rebuttal. But Lifestealer does go down. Very back and forth exchange so far. Mid lane, almost cancel going down to Tomato. So everybody just duking it out in the early laning stage. You see some of these heroes, like you see an Alk, you know, a Storm Spirit even, and a Tomato looking for that kill and cancel. He's got to pop the Fairy Fire. Even Terrorblade, like these are not normally let's go fight from 0 to 5 minutes type heroes, but they're really going at it.
They really are. And Tomato opted for the stick instead of a bottle, so he's actually going to have some issues. He's not going to have his bottle before the 4-minute rune, and he could just straight up lose a lane because of this, especially if Mirana gets like a regeneration or a haste, or most non-bounty runes is going to be very difficult for Tomato. Yeah, it looks like he will get his bottle here though, but it might be a little bit late, and it's an arcane rune for cancel.
Decent for Mirana.
Yeah, he might go for the kill here.
Could maybe get the Starstorm kill. Arrow coming in. Good prediction arrow by Cancel, but Tomato, he did not move his camera away. Meanwhile, though, top lane, Jubei might go down as a follow-up to IX Mike, who just got picked doing to the pole. Now they bring in Fluff. It's up to the roaming silencer to turn things around with this TP gank, and he might get the Moo kill. Still not even close to level 6. That tether moves be making the difference. He will pop the stick. Has the salve available and gonna live. He starts to channel a stun though, and Z-Freak comes in from the trees. He finds a kill, blinking forward with the Alk stun, and Fluff 2 will fall. A quick double for the quote-unquote support PA. Well on her way to maybe becoming a carry, and while that was happening, it looks like in the middle lane, Cancel does manage to find the solo kill on the Storm, courtesy of that Arcane Rune and a Starstorm.
I think a lot of it was due to the decision to get the stick over the bottle. The stick, like, it helps you for like the next minute, but the bottle helps you like the 2 minutes after you decide to pick up the stick, and then way more after, it's just safer for him. And he did get punished for it, but it also saves you if the Mirana's going very aggressively. But yeah, in the top lane, everyone just died. There's so much minus armor from the Blightstone and the Acid Spray that the Unstable Concoction does like half of Silencer's life right now.
He's actually maxing it, so they definitely are relying heavily on the Alchemist stun and not just playing him as like an AFK farming out by any means.
It's great versus their lineup. Versus the Storm and the Silencer and the Wisp in particular.
BSJ poking in there, just getting a little bit of CS. Oh, meanwhile, Mike again down top. That's a Z-Freak move, tandem kill, and he's not getting any help now. Mike just abandoned the lane.
And Z-Freak's 14-1. He is second net worth. No, now third, but he's top 3 net worth as a support PA.
Yeah, the support PA and the offlane Alk are surprisingly effective against Team Freedom this game.
Yeah, Bad Rider is in Strug City, man. At least he has strengths now for armor.
He does not have any stacks in the jungle whatsoever. Not a single camp.
Yeah.
I'll have a fish mid again with that arrow, but the sit back won't connect.
He is 6 on Tomato, so not really in any danger. Z-Freak will go to top. He will perhaps find the Bat Rider as he goes towards the tower.
But meanwhile, Swindle's getting dove bottom, almost dead to the Curse of the Silent.
He didn't even need a Fairy Fire there. Okay, if Mike shows up, I think might
There's
be dead
no
here.
mana for an Alk stun just yet, but it's about to be online. The dagger poke from Z-Freak. Cancel just freely farming out this middle lane, and Tomato actually going back to the woods to try and stack. I'm not sure if that's for him or for Mike, but either way, they both need the farm. They are both really struggling here after a rough laning stage.
I think they're going to lose control of their jungle way too quickly. Z-Freak's already popped a Reservoir Ward down there. That's still good for another 3 minutes. And Lifestealer in a little bit of trouble, but with Rage, no problem.
And Tomato is really getting bullied, especially not having boots.
I mean, you die once a Storm in lane like that, you are not going to have a good time.
Oh, the arrow almost finds him. He's just able to complete the ball lightning animation, get away. As Mike rushes in, no. Ultimate available, though, so it's simple harassment. And that's it. And now compLexity descended to the tri-lane. Swindles looks like he wants to cut the wave. Maybe find that pick off. They're going to start to work on the tower. And all the while, they still managed to get some farm here on JK in the bottom lane. Justin doing okay for the time being. The one bright spot for Freedom is Terrorblade farming, but is that going to be enough, Ben? That really is the question.
I don't know. They need farm of the other cores, and Mike, he's going to start doing this stack, but he's at like half HP. His Trank can help him out a little bit in the HP department, as will Wisp, but they need to do these stacks before compLexity comes over. Now that the T1's down on top, they're definitely going to make their way over, and with the Observer Ward, they will scout out the stacks being taken out. Yeah,
they did see those creeps get pulled. Can they get there in time to contest, though? It doesn't look like it for the time being. Although, as I say that, Z-Freak starts to come in. Maybe they are going to go for this after all. Already creeps down and Swindles.
If they have to run away, though, they lose vision because they don't have no idea where the Observer Ward is going to be placed. He could place it anywhere, and he's not placing it in a conventional spot because he wants this ward to stay up and he wants them to retain vision this entire time. So, yeah, they got the stack, but they still lose control of their jungle. Bad news, Bears.
And the two heroes that could retain that control, really the Storm and the Bat Rider, are both probably the two that are struggling the most relative to what you'd expect out of them.
Oh, they scan on bottom. Justin, they know that he's there. Now it's green, though, so he is actually in a pretty good spot. However, compLexity are expecting a bloodbath on bottom.
Good use of the bottle charges here from Cancel, though. Moving on to BSJ, they can try and initiate. They have that infest damage as well. Needs this arrow to connect, and it will. Mid-ultimate, BSJ does manage to get it off, though. And JK, Justin now worming through the trees. They won't find that final auto tech. Jubei suddenly a big drive-by from the IO. He won't get the kill. A sacrifice for him. The trade is Swindles throwing his own life away. And now Z-Freak on a mega kill streak just charging in. Looking for follow-up rage committed by Justin. They want to back away. Can Storm finally get back in the game? Justin's going to try to engage as well. And Freedom unable to secure those additional follow-up kills. They do have a last already. Justin charging in with the Helm of Iron Will. There's the TP out. Nope, not going to happen. Fluff gets shut down. compLexity bag another. That's two heroes dead and nearly a third as Tomato was almost finished off during that by Cancel.
That was a really nice play by Justin, how he quelled through the trees on the left side. The Wisp committed for the lifestealer kill, deeming his own life much less worthy than the lifestealer kill. But he didn't even get the kill because he cut it past the Freedom and just ran out to the left side. That was really smart.
Radiant scan here behind that tier 1 bottom. Maybe just double checking if they should go for a dive, but not going to find anyone. As Cancel will opt to grab the Staff of Wizardry.
Oh, how are they not using their Tome on Dire? Oh, no.
They didn't buy it, or they...
No, they haven't used it. Or they haven't bought it. Who got a staff?
Oh, he's going eggs, but he just got the Staff of Wizardry first,
okay.
so I was like, is he getting something else? But no, Cancel going to go for that standard carry Mirana build. Meanwhile, Z-Freak with the phase boots picked up, he really hurts, and Freedom are just getting pressured way too much, it feels like, by a support PA 5-0-1. And ahead of their own Storm in net worth.
Yep. And he's going to go Vlad's, and with that, their Roche potential is super great. And it also helps the lifestealer a lot, because now he can actually tank during the rage with the armor and doesn't have to run away from the Terrorblade. They were really close to killing the Terrorblade that time, too. That was a nicely timed arrow by Cancel, but it was just one hit away from certain death.
They will begin their siege now in the mid lane. compLexity surging forward with Swindles out in front. Pushing onto the Dire tier 1. And Fluff just hanging back, looking maybe to defend it. Global Silence, though, still not available. So when they go in here, they've got to be careful. Tomato's already blown all of his mana and a blink away from Z-Freak. But while that's happening, a lasso back on the Cancel. Do they have any detection here? Nothing doing on the side of on the side of Freedom, I should say. So Cancel easily maneuvers himself to safety, but Z-Freak does end his mega kill streak. Now Cancel gonna reveal himself, jumps away with the DD rune, the double starfall. Tomato, he's balled in, goes for the TP out. No, actually just gonna ball to the high ground. Has the regen rune, but can't pop it because he is currently earned up, and now they get onto him with auto attacks. Don't know if he's gonna get this off at all. Tomato dropping low, and it is going to be him going down in the end. So 1-for-1, a support PA on a huge streak for a carry Storm, who's now 0-2.
Ooh, what an arrow from
Finds the
Cancel.
pick off onto IX Mike, who gets slaughtered, really, with the double starfall, that minus armor.
They have the blink
the
on
Lifestealer.
move. They can chase if they'd like. Yeah, they're done for.
Where are you going, Fluff? Moo, chasing after Jubei, but he gets juked. Just a quick tether back, gets nothing. In fact, they want to turn on to Cancel.
What a
Little
juke.
miss uphill. I was close to being a disaster. Mono does have his regen rune now. Trying to kite around a bit here, but it looks like he lost it. Then gets Alk stunned. They pop right out. The Silence are going to just back away. Still one creep off Global. Maybe two. Very close to it. Very chaotic skirmishes, but overall compLexity still getting the huge upper hand. Already up 7,500 gold and nearly 7,500 experience as well.
Too much monies, man.
Yeah, so what are the next big items? We're looking at a Solar Crest potentially on the Alk. You got the Casual Medallion. PA grabbing the headdress, so Vlad's likely coming.
Top lane, Alchemist.
Good stun there. Can they focus him down? Lifestealer. Molly with the auto attacks again. He manages to get off his ultimate. Global is available, and they are going to try to turn this thing. Moving directly onto the support PA again, and now trying to follow up on a move, but he gets the blink off. Looked like they had a double kill there. Will he make it out? Move. Blink off cooldown in 4 seconds, and I think he does survive.
That's a big kill.
Not too bad for compLexity, all things considered. They blow the global. They commit the relocate. Can they turn this around and find a counter kill? They almost have the Ags on the Mirana of Cancel. Not quite yet, but they're getting close. That stun connecting on two. Now immediately charging in with the rage on Justin. They'll find a double, it looks like. And fast pop back out. They finish off the Batrider now onto BSJ, who will TP away to safety. And they do all this while Z-Freak chases Jubei in the mid lane, going for the TP. Does he get that crit? Not going to matter.
Yeah, he'd need like a double crit for that to work out for him.
You never know. You can't roll it out entirely with Ice Frog.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
And it's getting rough. Mike has just died incessantly this game. Just death after death after death. And It's going to be a very late drums. I would have actually advocated like a double ROP build from him this game. It's an older build, but I think it would be really good for his complexities lineup. You just need as much armor as you can on all these heroes.
So what do you get with them? The Tranquil Boots and...
A Tranquil Boost and you just hold the ROP.
Just hold the other Ring of Protection.
Yeah, and then like they already have the Aquila up on Terrorblade, and then Storm has a decent amount of base armor, so he's okay. And then Io, you can maybe even go for like a Medallion like we saw Z-Freak go last game.
Oh man, they would really love a cancel kill right about now, as he is so close to the Ags. This Dragonlance up on BSJ, quietly keeping relevant in terms of farm, but just the question is, will Freedom be able to get back into the game as far as the ganks go? They just now get the drums.
Tomato?
And Tomato in a real awkward spot here, but they need, I think, a +1 to kill him. They're going to try for it with the Rage. The auto attacks, he almost dies. Lifestealer does have the arm like complete now. Man, he dropped fast. Does have the regen.
Really wants to save that regen rune.
Got to maximize that value, but could come at the cost of his life. Now a ball forward. Moving on to Swindles. Tomato bouncing back, though, wants to maintain the regen rune this second time around, as they also bring in the reinforcements courtesy of the relocate. Lasso already committed. Justin on the run. Big ball forward from Tomato. Gets off the pull, but then the quick turn. And Storm, almost out of mana, is going to have to TP away. While meanwhile, simultaneously, Alchemist nearly going down. The Bat Rider getting picked off, sliced and diced by Z-Freak, and still they look for the Moo kill. The Global committed. Alk's going to stun himself. Can they get a kill in the back of that? Dust popped, but Justin there to ward them away. Fluff tries to kill him, pays with his own life. That Terrorblade illusion, close, not quite enough yet, and all of a sudden it's back to a regular melee version. He will survive. Yikes. They're getting slaughtered here.
Yeah, yikes indeed. There's even a lot of armor up in the Alk. His Medallion plus Iron Talon, so he actually has a fair amount. I thought he was going to drop to the Terrorblade a lot quicker when he got self-stunned. Nice global by Silencer. Almost salvaged that fight from them, but with Ags already up on a cancel, things aren't even going to get more rough, because Terrorblade was kind of the only one that was doing well, and he still is the only one that's doing well. He's the red and the sea of green, but once the Mirana gets on top of him, all his illusions are going to die, and if they catch him in a double stun or even just an Alk stun, I think he can drop before he can pop his Sunder. He's been really close to dying before he can pop his Sunder, but I think the Scepter will tip him over the edge.
Yeah, and on top of that, you do look at the supports of Freedom, and they are relatively squishy here with that triple Star Storm and Arrow combo, pretty much killing any of them. Now nearly a max Arrow as well. And we'll get the tier 1 bottom, so Freedom strike back there. But it may come at the cost of other objectives, and this could be the final mid tower going down.
Smoke
before the base.
From behind.
Could be a big fight. Global Silence not available for 40, though.
And Swindles might pop the smoke here. I think he knows that they're smoked, actually. He knows. He didn't want to sacrifice his life because he was confident enough that they were behind him.
So Mike moving in. He was scouted. He still engages, and he walks almost directly into Cancel's waiting arms. Not going to end up being focused, though. They let him walk away. Tomato simultaneously gets stunned. And nobody drops just yet, but now the big movement forward. Mirana finding the pickoff, looking for follow-ups. Blink Dagger nearly ready. Tomato again shut down in the fight. He is starting to feel like a support hero at 5k net worth. He is well behind Z-Freak on the PA. And that's after Z-Freak lost his streak.
Similar story to last game, I think, but you can't. It's very hard to actually dodge the Alchemist stun as a Storm Spirit. It'll still follow you after the zip, so you have to like zip through the Alch stun, which means you're like walking into like the Lifestealer and the Alchemist, which you don't really want to do. You just have to be like really spot on with your jumps in order to evade this combo. And then God forbid that Alchemist has a Lifestealer inside of him, because then you'll just die if you miss a little bit on the zip.
Yeah, back to farming the mid lane, but already Z-Freak there with the harassment. And simultaneously, compLexity do move into the pit. Cancel going to give them that leap move speed, and attack speed, I should say. The compLexity will engage. They have the acid spray ready. They'll drop it on the rock, and with that, Dire Scan revealing that there are heroes right in the pit neighborhood, but it's already too late, Ben. Damage is done. Deso now complete on Justin, and you got to figure compLexity are just going to be rushing straight after Freedom. Oh, Arrow. Won't connect. Cancel definitely confident and fishing as well.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
Lifestealer just farming out in the middle of nowhere, not scared at all because he doesn't need to be.
Yeah, they could try to kill him with like global lasso, but there's a Venge swap. You don't really know where she is, as their vision is almost entirely dark near the base.
And an Aegis.
And there's an Aegis. And he's got an armlet, so he won't die quickly either.
Yeah, and if he gets a rage off, you're just done for.
Alk stun bottom. Moo with the blink dagger secures a quick, easy kill, and I expect that may even prompt a high ground siege.
I don't see why not.
They are lacking Mirana for the time being. But they're still going to chip, it appears.
Dire's bottom tower.
They had the Dezo up on the Lifestealer, so these towers are going to drop very quickly. And Cancel playing it safe around the bottom lane, perhaps expecting a relocate ganking on him soon with the global silence. But if they do that, they just lose their rack. So he will meet up with his team very soon, perhaps.
Well, he wants to think about fighting in the mid lane. He's going to blink in, clear out the creeps, complexity. It's still chipping. They do have the completed Solar Crest now. Chemical Rage is
Look at that
very
observer ward
healthy.
up the high ground. That one is nice.
You can see the Radiant sees a lot. Mike,
They
though.
see Silencer. That's really bad. They can't even kill this ward is the thing. Like, they see it, but they can't kill it.
Yeah, Swindle's actually the man who goes in first. Gets off the lasso. Easy kill, and now onto Jubei, deleted by Z-Freak.
That's a double crit.
And just like that, he's nearly got an Orchid ready to go. He might have it even before the Storm completes his own with a 1 Oblivion staff advantage. Tomato trying to ball back, the lasso connecting on the Alk will roast him as well as the Lifestealer cracking that Aegis, but comes probably a cost as Fluff is pursued in turn. Cancel, trying to make it away, and the chase is on. Back to the Terrorblade, down goes the banana. So 4 heroes dead only for an Alk. Complexity, completely in control of this one.
What an arrow.
Jesus.
Dire's bottom tower.
And that's the arrow that broke their spirits and their hopes of Dota Pit. Freedom just utterly annihilated here at the end.
Outclassed,
Middle tower.
manhandled, whatever you want to call it. That was barely a contest.
Well, it's going to be a long break, Ben. We do not have EG and NP for about an hour and a half. I believe the admin said it will not start early, so Complexity just gave you all a chance to go do something else for a bit. Woo! 2-0. New Freedom lineup definitely looks like it needs some work.
They have 3 stand-ins. BSJ doesn't normally play for them, neither does Fluff.
Yeah, I guess I should say if it's a new lineup. Not entirely sure.
At least they fielded 5. And didn't forfeit.
That's true. At least they didn't withdraw from the event. You know.
At least they didn't disband. I mean, or withdraw from the event.
We've
like
got
like some other teams.
We've got some high standards here, you know.
Yeah. All you need to do is show up with 5.
And we consider it a job.
Even if you're
well
late,
done.
it's okay. Well done.
Lumi would be disappointed in your lack of strictness. No tough love from Ben. But
Not for that team, at least.
that's like when you've given up on them. Then there's no tough love. You're just like, whatever. Come on, Ben.